this fantasy so I can recognize what's hidden from me. I need this selfish dream so I can understand this heart that's been bleeding. I need you, baby. It's a faithless road I'm on. I need you, baby, 'cause it's been darkness all along. I need you, baby. It's a faithless road I'm on.
So I've mocked it up. The only thing I'm not quite happy with is this ball joint. The bolt here is really close to that spring cup, which limits my travel. So what I might do is change this back to the stout ball joint, because the bolt pattern is different in the bolts here instead of here, which gives me more clearance. And I might change the upper control arm length, which is going to sort of change everything, but I think just a little bit shorter will be better. So all I've got to do to correct that is to just drill some new holes in that jig plate and just try and mock it up again, and hopefully that's a bit better.
I need you, baby, 'cause it's been darkness all along. I need you, baby.
So that works, although I'm a little concerned about exhaust clearance to the control arm here. Like this exhaust, I'm going to bring it forward and then down. That's sort of always been the plan, mostly to keep heat away from the firewall. So I can go there to there, and by the time it's back here it won't be quite as warm. I think also what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this down to full droop, tack this plate to the chassis just to hold it where I've set it up. Get rid of these and remake them so that they clear this spring cup, because I've got an idea where I want to bring this spring cup up to about here. So that's the main reason why I've actually brought this so far back, so that it will clear the circle of the spring cup. So yeah, I'm going to mock that up next and then cut this out, bring that up where it needs to be, sit the spring in there, and I just need to check that it's all going to work. At this stage I'm a little concerned about what the spring will do and how the cylinder will sit on that spring, how much it's going to arc, etc. So I think I need to mock that up, just keep mocking stuff up and chopping to know if this is all actually going to work or not. Top out, and I was trying to mock up an idea that I had, which runs a shock in the spring area under the cylinder, but the issue with that is it pretty much had to be like a Titanic stack for it to even be close to working. And then when the control arm, when it was laid out, the control arm actually crashed on this. So that didn't work. So now I'm back to plan B, which means that this had to be cut out anyway. But instead, this only needs to be raised. This is an off-cutter pipe, but only a little bit higher than this. Because I want to make this area tall enough to run the heavier spring if I need it. Because at this stage I don't know the final weight of the car, and I just want to allow for extra, and I can always shim it if need be. But there's still a lot of unknowns, and the engineer's coming out next week, so that could change things. I'm going to get him to look at everything, see if he's happy with the direction I'm going. Otherwise, yeah, I'll have to change to plan C. So yeah. It had to be that shape obviously to clear the spring cut. As I said before, this here will be a little bit higher, so I just checked it through its travel, and everything will clear that if it's just a little bit higher, which is good. So from here I'm going to unbolt the arm, put it back on the jig table, and then I can pull some paper cardboard patterns from this wire form here and transfer it into the steel and start actually making my final arm on the jig. Go into a bit of detail on how I get this tape template onto the computer and then cut into steel. So what I do, I take a photo, pretty much I either put it on the ground or on the table, stand on the table, get as far back as I can without this going to pixelate it, and I zoom in all the way. And what this does, it pretty much removes any lens distortion. If I was to take a photo like this, you kind of get this fisheye effect, and the shape is actually wrong. The outer edge will kind of stretch a little bit. So yeah, by zooming in, it just eliminates, or mostly eliminates, that fisheye effect. So what I do, I just grab a ruler, sit that next to it, and then that's my point of reference for scaling it to the correct size. So I just put it into either my Adobe Illustrator software, which is just nice, quick and easy to use, or Fusion 360. And I scale it based off of that ruler, just draw a line around it, and then I export it as a DXS file to get onto the plasma and cut it out, and then they're good to go in, and I can weld all this up, or once I bend these, of course. That's all sanded back now. I did test fit it, and the hydraulic cylinder was a bit close here, so I just took a little bit out of there and added a patch in just to give myself some clearance. So I'm gonna add some more strength back into it. Originally these hilux arms had a little lip that folded up, and I had to cut that off. So I've got this 12mm rod here that I'm going to weld and dress, that's the wrong way around, on that edge, just to beef up the arms a little bit, and I think it'll look nice too. And then yeah, that'll be almost it. I might add a piece across here, although I might not need it. It's pretty strong and it's very heavy now. Yeah, and then I got to do it all again for the other side. pretty much all I'm going to do on the front end for now. There's still a lot more to be done, but pretty much I've just bolted it together, ran it through its heights, just check clearances on everything, the way the springs sort of acting, check those bushes and see how they sort of squash and work, and everything so far it's working pretty good. So yeah, the engine, I just set that in just for weight, again to act on the springs, make sure it lays out. Lays out. And I just swapped the springs out from the 1 ton, the 1 ton pre-cuts to 2 ton pre-cuts. The 1 tons, they felt a little bit too soft, and the 2 tons are actually, they're a lot better. They locate in the spring cup a lot nicer too. It actually helps with clearance here. I mean, it does still clear with those springs, but it's much better with the 2 tons. I don't really want to mount the shock on the control arm because just the speed of the hydraulics, I'm just going to blow them out all the time. So I want to run, I've got an idea to run like a fluid transfer system, a spring box essentially, where there's a coilover in the back, a second cylinder that just transfers the fluid, and that way I'm able to use the spring in the back. But yeah, I've just got to get that past the engineer, which is going to be tricky. And what it will mean is this spring in the front, I'll have to have like a stopper plate so that it actually doesn't do anything and just uses the coilover in the front. And then when I'm at a show and I want to do silly stuff like 3-wheel and hop it and whatnot, I'll pull that spacer plate out and flick the spring box off, and then I should be able to run on that heavy spring in the front and do what I want to do. So yes, kind of my thoughts at the moment. As a worst case, I can just put the shock on the arm, but I really don't want to. So yeah, I need to sit down and draw all that up, and that's going to be a lot of trial and error as well, just working out how the hell that's going to work. So I've still got to Z-notch the frame, which is where I bring pretty much all of this front suspension up, because at the moment this cross member here hits the ground before the chassis does. So I need to bring all of this up so that it's all level when it's on the ground, and then eventually the seals will sit on the ground with the frame. So I think the next step from here is to finalize this cab. I need to, now that I know the final position of the wheel and how much of a Z-notch I need, I know my clearance here so that I can finish this firewall area and this wheel tub here, because I want to try and bring it out as far as I can for the brake pedal. So once that's done, I can weld the firewall in, and then the cab's pretty rigid this way. I think I'm going to leave this removable for as long as possible, because I still haven't done the cab mounts, but I kind of need to finalise the chassis before I work out the cab mount position, because there's a few places they can go and I don't want to lock myself in this early. So yeah, just pretty much get the cab all structurally sound, get it sort of locked into those seals, and then the cab can come off to do the rear clip on the chassis and the Z-notch. I may change my mind, and once that's solid I might do the doors, because there's no reason why I can't do them. But yeah, it's all got to be done. I'll just pick what I feel like, and yeah, just keep chipping away at it. Yeah, that's all